Java class. Today we will study about some principles of object-oriented programming language. The last video we studied about object-oriented programming language. Okay? Shall we learn more about the principles of object-oriented programming language? Shall we start? Okay, listen here. What are they? Shall we check? First point, abstraction. Second point, inheritance. Third point, encapsulation. And fourth point is polymorphism. Okay? What are the principles of object-oriented programming language? Once more I am saying abstraction, inheritance, encapsulation and polymorphism. Let's learn more about these points. What's meant by abstraction? What is the meaning of abstraction? Abstraction is to represent the essential features of a system without getting involved with the complexity of the entire system. That means, in the modern world, if you want to operate any system, we do not require to bother about, or we do not require to know about the technology of that particular system. If you want to operate a camera, you just operate that camera. You can take videos and photos using that formula. You are not bothered about that camera. That means we will get the results only. Okay, if you are operating any system, we will get that result only. The same feature we will get from the object-oriented programming language. If you want to listen to music, we are not bothered about that stereo and the players also. And we are just listen that, or we are enjoying with that music. Okay, this feature we can see in this object-oriented programming language. That means object-oriented programming language gives this property to you. Okay, that means once again I am saying abstraction is to represent the essential features of a system without getting involved with the complexity of a system. That's the definition of this abstraction. I think you all understood the meaning of abstraction. Okay. The second property is inheritance. What's the meaning of inheritance? Inheritance is the process by which one object acquires the properties of the another object. That is the meaning of inheritance. That means we can create different types of classes. That means first we will create the parent class. In the previous video I explained about class. Okay, and we can create some parent class. A main class first we will create, and we can create the subclasses of this parent class. Okay, of that main class. We can create different subclasses of this main class, and these subclasses can acquire the properties of this main class. That property is called inheritance. The class whose properties acquired is called a base class or superclass or main class or parent class. And the class in which the property of the base class is acquired is called derived class or extended class or subclass or child class. These are the main things including this inheritance. Once again I am saying the second property is inheritance. Okay. Our next point is encapsulation. What's the meaning of encapsulation? The wrapping of data and the function into a single unit is called encapsulation. Usually we are writing the program with the help of this curly bracket. When you are writing a Java program, we are writing all the program with the help of this curly bracket, and we can create different functions, and the members of that functions we can keep in that using these brackets. That means we can wrap the data into a single unit. That is called that property is called encapsulation. Okay, once again I am saying the definition of encapsulation. The wrapping up of data and functions into a single unit is known as encapsulation. It is a mechanism that binds together code and the data it manipulates. This keeps both safe from outside interference and misuse. Okay, nobody cannot, without the programmer's intervention, we can access this data or functions from this program of a class. Because of that, where no interference or no outsiders can access this data without the permission of programmer. Okay. That property is called encapsulation. What's that? The wrapping up of data and the function into a single unit class is called the encapsulation. Okay. And what are the benefits? Modularity and information hiding. Okay. What are the benefits? Modularity and information hiding. Okay. What's the next point? Let's check. Next point is polymorphism. What's the meaning of polymorphism? Do you know? It allows two or more classes to respond to the same message in different ways. That means if you want to add two numbers, that means one is integer and another one is integer. The name of the function we can give as add, addition. Okay. Then next we want to add a decimal number and a whole number. Okay. Then next time we want to add three numbers, but the purpose is same, addition. Okay. We are giving for all the things we are giving addition, but different number of items or different types of item we can enter into this using this function. That means under a same name we can do different functions. That property is called a polymorphism. Okay. And what is the definition? Once again we can see it allows two or more classes to respond to the same message in different ways. What are the properties? Do you know? Overloading and overriding are the two types of polymorphism. Okay. Under a same name we can do different purpose or different functions. That is called a polymorphism. And the main points: abstraction, features of object-oriented programming. Second one, inheritance. Third one, encapsulation. And fourth one is polymorphism. Listen, abstraction means represent the essential features of a system without getting involved the complexity of a entire system. Okay. And inheritance means what? A superclass one class object can acquire the properties of another class. And encapsulation means the wrapping up of data and functions. And polymorphism means we can do different functions under a same name. That is the meaning of polymorphism. I think you all understood the 4 points. You have to study this. This is the basic features or the main features of object-oriented programming languages. Very important. Always for all the exams they will ask one question from this part. You have to study this one. Okay. Let's take the next portion.
Implementing objects. Our aim is to implement a real-world object in the form of a software object. Real-world objects have physical characteristics of state and behavior. Example, a motorbike has characteristics. What are they? Current gear, 2 wheels, number of gears. These are the characteristics of a motorbike. And what are the behaviors of that bike? Braking, accelerating, changing gears, etc. Okay, these are the behavior of a motorbike. The software objects also have state and behavior. Their state is maintained through variables or data items. That means the state is maintained in this program. When you are writing a Java program, it is considered as variables or data items, the state. And the behavior is implemented through functions generally called methods in our Java program. Okay. These are the two things. That means state indicates variables or data items in our program. And behavior indicates functions or methods. Understood all of you? What do you understand by object factory? An object factory is a producer of objects. It accepts some information about how to create an object, such as values depict its state, and then returns an instance of that object. valid representation and the nature of the information that is determined by the object factory and is closely tied to the abstraction represented by a class as object factory. That means class is known as the object factory because it is a producer of objects. Class is the producer of objects. Do you remember an example of that class? If car is a class, we can create some objects, Maruti, Alto, Benz, like that. If pen is a class, we can create Rotomac, Renault, like that, objects from that class. Okay, then class is also known as the object factory because it's a producer of objects. Okay, I think you all understood the meaning of this one. Try to learn all the things. Okay, if you like this one, please subscribe my channel and share to others. If you want to get the previous videos, please subscribe it, and if you want to get the next notification, please press on the bell button. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you.